Kawasaki Z900 RS. Incredibly stylish, incredibly elegant, but also incredibly fast. The answer for you in this video. Yes, the Kawasaki Z900 RS, a motorcycle that makes any enthusiast's heart skip a beat. A classic Japanese four-cylinder wrapped in an elegant design, and we are sending it out onto the 1000 PS test track here in Bad Fischau and putting it through its paces. Though putting it through its paces might not be the right phrase, because here it is being ridden as it was meant to be. The thing is, this bike is essentially a sporty naked bike dressed in an elegant look, and as soon as you take it out on the track, you immediately feel that it is a genuinely sporty machine, one that you are eager to take on spirited rides. After these laps, I always ride 10 laps in total, with the last one being timed and recorded in lap time chart. I often find that with classic motorcycles, I reach a point where I feel like I have squeezed out everything they have to offer, and that's just it. But with this bike, when I got off, I knew there was still more in it. I would need to practice a bit more, get to grips with it a little better, but this motorcycle truly has real sporting potential. That comes down to several factors. One of them, of course, is this unbelievably good engine. It might feel ancient by now, but it is so good that neither journalists nor presumably customers have ever demanded any changes to it. Never touch a running system. The entire engine block is probably quite heavy, but it delivers power right from the low rev range, has impressive rev reserves, and offers incredibly responsive throttle behavior. You can really feel that here on this tight circuit. It is one of the few engines where I actually enjoy wringing it out fully in first gear, which means I can send a serious amount of torque to the rear wheel. Usable, practical torque. That is something that one or two cylinder engines often struggle with. But this four-cylinder absolutely shines in that regard, almost in a diamond-like manner, allowing you to smoothly roll on the throttle and carry high revs both into and out of corners. So this is an absolute gem. The second thing Kawasaki has done really well is creating a relaxed and comfortable riding position while still allowing you to move around on the bike and properly ride it, rather than just cruising like you would on a retro bike. Now we have the Z900 RS here, and that name alone sets higher expectations than if it were just a standard Z900. Let's put it this way. The first limitation that becomes apparent, showing that this is a bike for relaxed rides and not a Ninja, is that the suspension in terms of damping characteristics is overall too comfortable despite the RS designation. When you lean into and out of a corner, when transitioning from rolling to accelerating, and especially in quick direction changes, there is a slight restlessness in the suspension. You might notice in the onboard footage that I always need a moment to fully commit to the lean angle and another moment to roll on the throttle smoothly. It feels like, I do not know, maybe 3 or 4 tenths of a second where the bike does not have perfect stability. And that is exactly where I lose time. That is probably the key difference between this bike and even sportier naked bikes, even sportier retro bikes, or full-on supersport motorcycles in situations where the riding dynamics change, acceleration, braking, left-right transitions. This bike is just not as stable as some of the others. That is really the biggest difference. At corner entry, due to the strong engine braking, the bike tends to judder slightly under heavy braking zones, but you do not really hold that against it. The lean angle clearance is absolutely fine. I mean, I am not a particularly heavy rider. I think I weigh 75 kilograms, though I have not weighed myself in 10 years, but roughly around that. Heavier riders can, of course, adjust the rear preload. Personally, I think the lean angle clearance on this bike is perfectly reasonable. But of course, you always get people commenting below saying, oh, the lean angle clearance is too low. I have no idea what they are always complaining about. All in all, a very likable motorcycle, one that can go much faster than its looks might suggest, a bike that is designed to be very practical, visually stunning, dynamically solid, but still within a reasonable range where you can say this is affordable and it lets you do everything you expect from a motorcycle. A fantastic bike with a strong recommendation from me. That said, I cannot quite judge whether I was able to fully exploit its potential to get it high up in the best lap chart. Since we already have quite a few similar bikes in there, at first glance, I believe the comparable Yamaha XSR100 is ranked higher as it offers more stability. But that is just speculation. So let's take a look at the best lap chart together.